Sandwich, yummy!
Okay, welcome back to EdTech Sandwich. This is episode number 13. New school year, a lot going on. We are absent our trusting co-host of Mr. Brett Foster. He's on hiatus or sabbatical, however you want to call it. He actually is going to be with us next week as we get into some technologies that he's into. We are at The Rock in Paris today. Love The Rock. This is our actual second show from The Rock. But I have today the turkey panini. It has, what was it, Al?
Special sauce.
Special sauce. Basil something. Something with basil. It's a great sandwich. Love it. Hot sandwich. Actually, here today, I have Al Crestline, the Al Crestline from Bourbon County. And so, Al.
Hi.
We also have Pam Kelly from Windstream. And Keith Curran. I wanted to say Larry, which is your first name.
That is my first name.
All right. And Jody, who do you have? Oh, let me introduce Jody Rose. This is Jody Rose, who is co-host for today and is going to be doing more appearances on EdTech Sandwich.
I'm not Brett Foster.
You're not.
I don't have a turkey panini. By complete coincidence, though, I am in a location that has a district nearby. There's Rusty back from Murray Independent. And over here on the phone, I've got Brad McKinney from Interisys working hard to go through a technical issue in the district,
Awesome.
Unrelated to the broadcast today. But I can't even get started, Marty, without divulging a little bit of our conversation this morning. I've talked to the editors of EdTech Sandwich. I've made a call to the executive producer. I've talked to the guys in the production truck. It is unanimous that everyone is of the opinion that you are quite stringent on your requirement that there be sandwiches involved, because I was going to try to get out of the sandwich piece of that. I didn't want to step on any copyright infringement of yours and Brett's sandwich talk. So just to satisfy you, I've gone to get something that might resemble a sandwich, and I know I'm referencing an older EdTech Sandwich episode. I have a bacon, egg, and cheese burrito that will be consumed after the broadcast today.
Yeah.
It may or may not be a sandwich. I don't know if you want to go down that road.
We've
but,
consulted.
It is here. It is here, and I am trying to comply and yet maintain a little bit of credibility here. Now, I will mention that Rusty back in a few minutes is going to make a turkey sandwich that apparently he has every day. And I've got a refrigerator that's off camera here,
Nice.
and he's prepared to make that. Yeah, he's showcasing his bread over there.
Nice.
He's set to go, so the sandwich requirement hopefully has been met.
We have consulted the delegates before, and definitely a burrito or a wrap. Call the states, definitely. A wrap is in the sandwich family, so you're still good. So we won't kick you off. So let's get into the important topics for today. And Al has been working extremely hard with Windstream and actually Brad McKinney from Interisys on a new voice over IP system. And I wanted him to take, I'm limiting him to 45 to 55 seconds to talk about the voice over IP system that he has going in.
So we're putting a new voice over IP system district wide. We were able to get that with the E-rate funding that was from 2 years ago. So everything changed. We originally had Nortel, and we switched to an Avaya system. So we had to get that.
What Avaya system is it?
The IP Office.
Miss Kelly says IP Office, and there's only a few IP Office systems in Kentucky right now. Yeah.
So and it's so far this is our first day. We're putting in our board office today. We have an elementary next week, and then every 2 weeks after that, we're going to put a new school in. Needed some backwork set up, so we had Brad from Interisys come in and really help to get all our voice VLANs set up correctly, and worked a lot with Keith Curran to get that all set up. So far, we did some training this morning. We got a little bit more in a little while, and everything's good. We're looking forward to having everything tied together.
So you're going to have a component of your system that I don't know that anybody else has, which is what kind of handsets are you?
We're doing two for the bus garage and our ag department. They had a cordless phone. They just had a plain old telephone, a cordless phone, and I wanted to give them the same thing they had. Now they're going to have phones on our voice system, which they didn't have before. So we're going to go with wireless handsets. Got them ordered, don't have them in yet. And I do know they need a wireless access point to make them work.
So a wireless IP-based handset.
Handset, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty interesting. Jody Rose, what do you have for us today?
Well, I'm dealing with sporadic connection here, so I got most of what Al was saying there. I don't know that I have any districts, or certainly not many, that are going down the road of wireless IP handsets. I know in a lot of our school districts, the debate is should I move to digital handsets, which obviously have an increased capability but increased cost, or should I try to keep the analog handsets that I have in place running as long as possible? I think that's a challenge that a lot of our districts are facing. How do I want to go VoIP all the way down to the handset level? Do I just want to stay digital between my systems in the schools or in the closets and stay analog at the handset level? It's it's good conversation, good topic.
And we are putting in a hybrid system because our office areas and all the schools are getting an IP phone, but we're keeping the digital phone, the handsets, the smaller phones in the classrooms. We're keeping those. So we're only bought probably district wide about 100 IP phones, and the rest of them we're gonna keep the old phones.
So nice hybrid approach. Yeah.
Saved us quite a bit of money that way.
Good. Go, Jody. What do you got?
So one of the things that I think you may be pulling up some links to, or at least we can share after the broadcast, has to do with video distribution. I had worked with Chad Wells and John Lathan in Muhlenberg County. They were showing me something that they had tried. I'm probably, if I call it video distribution on the cheap, I'm probably not giving them full credit for what they've done. It's not to disparage solutions like vBrick or similar competitors, but those solutions can get pretty pricey. What Muhlenberg County has done is they've bought some tuner boxes by Silicon Dust. I think the box is called HD Home Run, kind of a dual tuner box. And I go into more detail in a video that I think we're going to include as an additional resource on this. But essentially, they're taking their satellite feeds or their cable feeds, bringing those into combination in some cases of the HD Home Run boxes and the Channel Plus boxes by Linear if you've got digital satellite-based channels. And so they're feeding out school-wide quite a few channels and doing it for hardware investment of a few $1,000s instead of 5 and 6 figures like you see in some other cases. So it's definitely worth knowing more about. It's not for everybody, but if you've got the technical expertise and you're interested, it's worth taking a look at.
So it's a DIY IP-based video distribution.
I didn't catch all that. It is going to be district-wide. You got to be sure, obviously, that your network is solid and can handle multicast traffic appropriately. But they've built a nice web front end that takes you to a particular tuner on one of these boxes. And so to the end user, you bring up a browser. Maybe you're using VLC player. Mm-hmm. I've got a button to click, say, KET or Discovery Channel, and I click that button, and it feeds that multicast to the proper browser, and off you go.
Yeah, so you heard district-wide, and I said DIY. Do it yourself.
Oh, DIY, I'm sorry. Yes, exactly. It is more of a do-it-yourself thing. Yeah. Those companies, I think you're going to pull up a couple of the links there, but there are different models depending on how low price versus functionality you want to go. I've got another district that's looking into some of the Silicon Dust products, but there is more of a rack mount unit that's got multiple feeds as opposed to several standalone boxes, which is how Muhlenberg implemented theirs.
Gotcha. And so that video will be linked in the show notes, and it's an 8-minute video that takes you through exactly how they have theirs configured.
It's fairly dry. It's me in a Visio-like drawing, and I'm trying to talk through the components and pull up some links. But it gets you the basics, and hopefully it's helpful.
Jody, you are never dry. Okay, you are never dry. Hey, you also told me about a really neat product called Swivel. And I'm curious as we get into more like, I know a lot of people are talking like lecture capture stuff, or even, it's that, flip through your classroom conversation or video capture. Tell me about Swivel.
I think the flipped classroom is the first thought I have as to where this could really be useful. But Swivel, and you're probably pulling up the website now, SWIVL, so no E in there, Swivel without the E, swivel.com. To me, it looks like a little vise that you would put your iPhone or iPod or be another type of camera. I think it's a little small to probably hold an iPad without a larger tablet tipping over the system. But essentially, you've got a vise that you're hooking that device to that sort of holds the camera steady. The user is wearing like a lavalier around their neck that's got that it's a microphone for
working on understanding the difference.
Capture, and then it's a sensor. So as that user walks from one side of the room to the other, the swivel is following the user around. And so one of the linked videos that I shared with you was a teacher demonstrating this. The teacher walks from one side of the interactive whiteboard to the other. The video sort of follows along as if there were a cameraman behind the scenes, but it's not a camera at all. It's just it's this device plugs into the power/adapter cord with an app that you run on the in this case iPod or iPhone. It's a nice way to capture video and have some level of control at the camera, and you'd be a little further away. Really a neat tool.
Do you know how much the swivel is?
You would ask me. 150 to 200 perhaps.
We could.
Let's say 100.
I think the website shows 179 per unit. Looks like.
There you go.
So pretty interesting. Actually, they have a $99 version as well. It looks like. Anyway, that's. I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, there's a lot of people trying to do a lot of capture stuff.
8 offices at Murray State University. They had one that they were working with and had some teachers kind of trying it out. And again, I really think for recording some lecture for the flipped classroom or homebound type purposes. I mean, there's obviously several ways to use video-based instruction. It's just nice to be able to record yourself in a fashion and not have that awkwardness where you're holding the camera out away from yourself.
Awesome. Well, Jody, listen, this has been a great episode of EdTech Sandwich. We're pumped. I know Al has to get back to training some folks on the new IP phone system, and so he's got folks at his board office set up to do a 1 o'clock training, and that's Eastern time. And so we're going to have to get back.
In Bourbon County, then.
That's right. So we're going to have to get back. But I'll tell you what, episode 13 is a wrap. And Jody Rose, you brought the flavor to EdTech Sandwich. I love it.
That maybe I can talk to some of my contacts and be asked back in the future. Thanks for the invitation.
Hey, we'll talk to you soon. Look forward to episode 14, probably coming out next week.
See you, gang.
EdTech Sandwich, your